In a few seconds, the Rediffusion production, This Week, the Arts. But first I'd like to mention that there'll be full coverage of Wimbledon 1967 on independent television, starting on Monday afternoon at 1:45.
Free from Lifebuoy, this big handy food box. Look at all the food it keeps fresh. Free. And there's money off Lifebuoy too. Get the special Lifebuoy packs and send for the big free food box.
Look! There's the land of wheat and honey.
The land of wheat and honey where sugar puffs grow on trees. The sky is bright, the children bonny and so full of energy. Sugar puffs are so crisp and good. That's why the kiddies all love them. For in the land of wheat and honey, there's sugar puffs energy. Sugar puffs.
A diamond surface isn't just a pretty face. It's tough. Diamond's tough. Diamond can take it. Diamond polyurethane, the toughest finish ever made, and the most brilliant.
The trouble with sunfat nuts is so many people like them.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Give me strength.
You've got it. In Louisville's underwater army, each green, speckly spoonful holds an underwater army of enzymes, nature's own stain destroyers. Louisville's enzymes conquer even deep, dried-in stains, egg stains, cocoa, sweat marks, blood spots. Lift them right off the cloth. Then Louisville's own cleansers and brighteners start whiteness where the stain was.
Oh, yes, it's spotless.
Win your war against stains with Louisville's underwater army.
This is BBC Television.
Svetlana Stalin is hidden tonight somewhere in Switzerland after her flight from Russia via Delhi and Rome. News from Washington is that President Johnson personally ordered that she should not be taken to the United States so as to avoid straining U.S.-Soviet relations. Our Washington correspondent, Charles Wheeler. Swiss authorities stressed that she had not asked for political asylum, but simply temporary permission to rest. They said they were satisfied she had never indulged in political activity. This permission is valid for anything up to 12 months. Soccer and the fifth round of the FA Cup. In Liverpool, more than 60,000 people packed the Everton ground this evening to see the home team beat Liverpool 1-0. Another 40,000 watched the game on closed-circuit television at Liverpool's ground.
The good-humoured crowds filed into both grounds without incident. Everton's at Goodison Park was packed with a capacity of 64,000, but touts had difficulty in selling tickets to fans who arrived late. A mile away at Liverpool's ground, over 40,000 people watched a live television relay of the match on giant screens. High winds split one, but 7 remained intact. After the derby, the crowds dispersed without incident.
And at the other ties, Birmingham put Arsenal out with a goal 7 minutes from time, and Chelsea are through with a 2-0 win over Sheffield United. But Manchester City and Ipswich must meet again next Tuesday. The other two teams through so far, Sheffield Wednesday with a 3-1 win at Norwich, and Tottenham, who beat Bristol City 2-0. Nottingham and Swindon replay on Tuesday, and Sunderland and Leeds on Wednesday. There were 2 drawn games in the Scottish Cup third round, but Celtic beat Queen's Park 5-3, and Dundee had a 1-0 win over Dunfermline. The Leader of the House of Commons, Mr. Richard Crossman, spoke about Labour.
We're beating it up.
With real fresh cream.
Gaying it up.
With real fresh cream.
Laughing it up.
With real fresh cream.
With real fresh cream that's, easy to get. Make anything great.
With real fresh cream.
Clearing his plate.
With real fresh cream.
Wow, living in state.
With real fresh cream.
With real fresh cream that's easy to get.
Yeah.
Make a feast of it with real fresh cream now.
Kenneth? Come on now, Kenneth, your breakfast's ready. Hey, Kenneth.
Yes, darling.
Darling? Who are you calling darling? Oh.
Will Doctor Who escape this time? Buy Wool's new shape Skyray with double flavors of raspberry and orange. And you get a free color picture card, one of a series showing Doctor Who and the Space Raiders battling with Daleks. Free when you buy Wool's new shape Skyray. Only 6 months.
So, in 15...
Cooper Totteridge.
Pardon? Yes, very well interrupted. Pardon is the right answer. What Caesar Borgia said in his famous letter to Louis XII.
Well done, Tom.
I couldn't hear what he said. I don't know what he was talking about.
Never mind, you knew the answer before you even asked the question. Great. Marvellous.
What a fluke.
Well, I didn't hear you say pardon.
Because I hadn't done anything, had I? I can't belch at will.
Will? Will who?
Will you shut up for a start?
Will you shut up for a start? That's a funny name, too. I like that. I don't think it's funny.
Your question is in 3 parts, 10 points for each part, and all on classical mythology.
Ah, it's my subject.
First question for 10. Who was Isis?
Well, come on, it's your subject. Come on, drain brain. It's your subject. Go on, who was Isis?
Who was Isis? How can I answer a question like that?
Well, what's wrong with it?
Who was Isis? What are Isis? Now that I can answer.
Well, tell him.
Isis are that which you suck.
I shall need a little more than that.
And you'll get it, mate. Right in the gob.
Yeah, no. Stop it, Frank, stop it.
What does he want? 3 choruses of Danny Boy?
Cooper Totteridge.
Oh, Danny Boy. What's up with them? Look at the pair of you. Stop looking at them. Making them laugh, having your own jokes. You two are enough to make your captain lose your pips.
Mr. Chairman, could we have some order from that ridiculous rabble and get on with the challenge?
Well, I didn't hear you answering any questions, mate.
Shut your face, you.
Shut your
Can we get straight on to your last question, please? For 10 points, how long was Hadrian Emperor of Rome?
Oh, Hadrian, Emperor of Hadrian. Come on, Frank, come on.
Wait a minute, I haven't found the aces yet. Wait a minute, let's get it.
What have you got under there?
Pardon?
I shall have to cut you off.
Pardon?
I'm afraid I shall have to cut you off.
Oh, sadist.
Just a bit. May we confer?
Yes? Well?
No idea.
Clueless, can you take it?
It's no good. It's a waste of time asking any of them down there. Get out of it.
Time's up. The answer is 21 years. A bonus of 50 coming up. You're started for 10. A famous German poet, dramatist and philosopher was born in Frankfurt in Maine in 1749. Nobody got it yet? All right, carry on. And died in the small duchy of Weimar in the same year as Sir Walter Scott. Nobody? Carry on. He was said to have placed his nation at the head of the intellectual movement of the century. His family belonged to the well-to-do burgher class, and his whole life was spent in conditions of prosperity and comfort. And throughout his life, he maintained a high degree of simplicity and austerity in material things. In 1765, he entered Leipzig University as a law student. Here he spent 3 restless years distinguishing himself on the one hand for unusual wisdom, and on the other for recklessness, extravagance of thought and behavior, and melancholy alternating with high spirits. At Strasbourg, he studied art, gained his degree of Dr. Juris, and wrote some of the most beautiful lyrics under the inspiration of Frederica Briand. His life at Wetzlar in 1772 gave him the inspiration for Werther. He was in close friendship with Kästner's betrothed Charlotte Buch. The book caused a tremendous sensation abroad as well as in Germany. He then lived in Frankfurt, where his acquaintance was sought by the most notable men of the day. Among others, Klopstock, Lavater, Barthedorf, Jacobi, and Storm. In 1775, he accepted an invitation from Duke Karl August to the court of Weimar, and a strong attachment that already existed between the two men was deep, and Weimar became Karl's home. He took part in public life, he created the Heimat, and then president of the Chamber of Finance, and was knighted in 1792. His intellectual activities were stimulated by the Duke and his wife, a circle of brilliant friends, including Kneller, Wieler, and Schiller. His love for Charlotte von Stein, which lasted 10 years, and inspired and died in 1832. Well, nobody's going to get it.
Oh, they got it all right.
There goes the gong, so the match ends in a draw.
I'm afraid we won.
No, it's a draw. They've got no points and you've got no points.
We've got 3 points.
I'm sorry, you haven't.
Yes, we have. Ready, chaps? 3 points coming up. Now!
Come on, get it going!
Well, at 5:50, there's more chaos in the way in the shape of Just Jimmy. Jimmy averaged an ABC network rating of 48 last winter, which is a great record for an early evening show. But comedy always goes down well around this time, so after half an hour of Jimmy, there's more laughter for the next 70 minutes. First, there are 2 programs sharing the 6:20 slot. A couple of Mike and Bernie Winters shows to start with, and then from the 20th of January through to the 9th of March, a brand new edition of Doddy's Music Box takes over. But I'll let him tell you all about it.
Doddy's Music Box averaged a TAM rating of 49 across the ABC network last winter.
Could you meet who could beat Tom Jones?
Well, at 7, George and the Dragon comes back with Sid James and Peggy Munt. The show isn't in production yet, but here's a reminder of how it goes down with ABC viewers.
Just for the record, George and the Dragon got an average rating of 37 in the Midlands and 39 in the North during May and June.
At 7:30, the Saturday film is back in its old slot, and there are some really good movies in the winter list. Films with big names and big reputations, like Moby Dick. At 9:10, the evening lineup switches to drama with a new series of Public Eye, and Alfred Burke stars once again as the investigator Frank Marker. Marker's not a glamorous detective, and he doesn't get glamorous cases. He doesn't even get glamorous girls. What he does get are people who are in trouble, the kind of trouble you can't see the police about, even if you're innocent.
Stop. How's she?
What?
The girl I brought in, Miss Hinckman, how's she?
She's in the theatre, Dr. Bowen, you know that.
Yes, I know. I thought you might have heard something. No, of course not. She knew what my answer would have been.
Well, innocent or guilty, Zia Moyedin's performance sets the tone for this new Public Eye series. True to life and compelling to watch. At 10:15, we stay with drama when Armchair Theatre follows The Gamblers. Plenty of comedy in this series with stars like Beryl Reid and Bernard Cribbins, and including Noel Coward among the authors. And to add a touch of the macabre to the hour and keep the ratings in the top 30s, there are some new tales of mystery and imagination.
Mr. Dunning, the gentleman left this.
Oh?
He said I was to be sure to give it to you.
Oh, thank you, Whittaker. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Very sinister. 2 more programs wind up Saturday evening. First, at 11:05, Kenneth Robinson opens the Magic Box for another celebrity. And at 11:35, it's Time to Remember time. Time for another half-hour glimpse of the good old days. And finally, time to say goodnight. Well, now, what about Sunday? Well, winter Sundays are going to start as strongly as ever with World of Soccer at 2:30. 50 minutes of the best of one of Saturday's biggest matches. Last winter, World of Soccer scored an average ABC network rating of 31, and this year should see it doing just as well. Next in line, at 3:20, comes Cimarron Strip, staying in the Sunday afternoon slot for another season and delivering the usual action. Well, at 4:45, we get more sharpshooting, only with less blood this time, when the golden shot returns in the hands of Bob Monkhouse.
Now I hear it. This is a very exciting part of the show for all of us, particularly Mrs. Shimmin, because she's going to take a shot at that golden shot. And it stands at 100 guineas tonight, Mrs. Shimmin. And you know that you have to cut through the thread at the center of the bullseye. You do that, and we'll see a shower of golden coins like Jim Callahan only dreams of. But if you cut through the thread at any other point, not dead center, then the only shower we'll see will be tears, I'm afraid, because that just won't count. It must be dead center that you cut the thread. This is it. You nervous?
Yes.
So am I. All right, now you just stand right there. That's fine. You can put one foot on, yes, that's all right. Bernie, make sure you put it in nicely now. The boat. Fine. In position. Now you have full 20 seconds. That's more time than you think. Just aim as surely as you can, and those 20 seconds start ticking off now.
Well, the golden shot ends its run in mid-March, and Candid Camera takes over with a whole new bag of tricks. We told you in the last preview about those ballet classes for Glasgow dockers. Well, here they are.
Last November through to January, Candid Camera averaged a TAM rating of 44 in the north and 44 in the Midlands.
Well, at 5:30, following the golden shot and Candid Camera, there'll be more adventures of Skippy, and then the news and the close period at 6 o'clock. When the evening programming gets off the ground at 7:25, there are two shows sharing this comedy slot. First to return, and continuing up to the 18th of February, will be a new series of The Dickie Henderson Show.
Hello, Pauline. Hi, Pauline. Pauline.
Dickie! Dickie, sweetie!
Pauline.
Oh, it's so lovely to see you. Oh, so handsome and debonair. And you smell delicious. What do I look like?
I'm stunned.
Yes, most people say I haven't changed a bit. Still, I don't suppose I could get into my gym slip now. Come in.
The last series of the Dickie Henderson Show achieved an average rating of 49 in the Midlands and 51 in the north.
You look just the same.
You mean after all these years?
Oh, no, silly. I mean the same as you do on television.
Oh.
Oh, you have no idea what a thrill it's been seeing someone one knows so well becoming so successful. Mind the footstool, do sit down. Over here. Well, Inky, darling.
Inky?
Oh, don't you remember? I used to call you that.
Oh, Inky. Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what you used to call me?
Oh, don't tell me now.
Well, it rhymes. Instead of inky, it's...
Kinky. No. Stinky? No.
Pinky.
Oh, Pinky.
Yes. Do you remember why you used to call me Pinky?
Well, I suppose it was because,
On that nature ramble. Do you remember? When I got into a difficult situation with my gym slip and you helped me out of it? on some barbed wire and you unhitched it for me.
Oh.
That was when you decided to call me Pinky. You naughty boy.
You've got an awfully nice place here, I must say.
Oh, yes. I suppose. You're going to tell me now that you don't remember what happened behind the gym.
Well, what did happen behind the gym?
Oh, I knew you'd forgotten. You'd be jolly proud of yourself when I remind you.
I sure hope so.
Oh, yes. You were magnificent.
What?
Oh, yes. If you remember, Tompkins was being rather beastly to me behind the gym.
Tompkins was?
Yes, but luckily you came along and rescued me.
Oh. Well, I was on the boxing team. I was a bit useful in those days.
Yes.
What did I do? Give Tompkins a good hiding?
You jolly well did.
That was George Tompkins of the Fifth.
No, Priscilla Tompkins of the Fourth. Yes, and you know, ever since then I've thought of you as sort of my Sir Galahad. You know, I dream about you sometimes, especially after watching you on television.
I hope they're not nightmares.
Oh, dear, no. Would you like it now or later?
Well, when Dickie goes off the air, it's Tommy Cooper's turn in the 7:25 slot, and he romps back with a load of well-loved gags and tricks that always go wrong in a new series of Life with Cooper.
Life with Cooper averaged an ABC network rating of 49 last January.
Here's an army joke I'd like to tell you now. No, this is a good army joke. This is the best one I've ever stowed. Listen to this. Another man on sentry, like this, 4 o'clock in the morning, same time. Little bit different. It's raining and thunder and lightning. Very dark, and he's on sentry like that, and he falls asleep. Which is a crime, isn't it? On duty. Could be inside. 10 years. Like that. All of a sudden, the order sergeant comes around, the order officer, order sergeant like that, with a stick under his arm, big moustache like that. Hurricane lamp, order officer, like that. Sentry! Sentry! This fellow's like that. Sentry! 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 Like that. All of a sudden, the sergeant's right in front of him, like that, with a big moustache and stick like that. Looking at him like that. Hurricane lamp, order officer here. This fellow's like that. And he opens his eyes a little bit like that. Not much, just a little bit. And he can see it right in front of him like that. So he's got to think quick, hasn't he? Otherwise he's inside, 20 years. So he goes, he opens his eyes and he goes, Amen.
Well, now it's 7:55, and for ABC viewers, that means time for the big feature film. In the winter list are some big American features. Frank Sinatra and Debbie Reynolds in The Tender Trap, Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly in The Country Girl, Doris Day in Love Me or Leave Me. And there are some British classics too, like The Cruel Sea and Ice Cold in Alex.
What's our chance of getting through the minefield?
My foot. Well, at 10:05, we change pace again and go into the variety hour. This winter, that means the Palladium, some new variety spectaculars, and more shows from Morecambe and Wise.
Last winter, Variety Hour achieved an average TAM rating of 56 in the Midlands and 57 in the North.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. First of all, I'd like to tell you about some of the interesting people that we have on the show. I'm sure you're going to enjoy them very much. We have some great presents. What are you doing?
Well, it's fairly obvious what I'm doing, isn't it? What? I'm trying to take a candid picture of you so I can show my children. They don't realise I know you, you know. You're a big star to them, huh? Wig and all. Oh, no.
I didn't know you were interested in it.
I've always been interested in it. Then I realised I was getting too old for it, so I took up photography.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Photography.
Ah, well, there you are. So never the twain shall meet.
And there's just one more programme that takes us to the end of ABC's winter weekends in the North and Midlands and winds up this preview. I'm sure that I don't really need to give you the name.
Be late one Sunday night in the Garnett household. Mum chewing a bag of toffees, and the kids are necking on the sofa, as usual. And I'm reading the paper, and I say, look, how can I concentrate on my paper with you chewing them toffees and him licking our ear holes out there? Disgusting. I'm going to bed. And then Rita will say, but Dad, aren't you going to watch the Eamon Andrews show? And I say, what? Sit up half a night to watch that misbegotten Irish git? Marming up to all them film stars. Look, you know why he's over here, don't you? And Mum will say, no, but I suppose you do. And I, shut up, you silly moo. Look, the reason he's over here, see, is because your Irish government has sent him over here to disrupt all our means of communications, isn't it? See, and when a word comes through from Dublin, see, all them thick micks are digging up our roads, cover all that national insurance money, see, they're all going to rise up and take over this country, and you know who's going to be in charge, don't you? Hey, you know who'd be up there number 10 Downing Street, don't you? Who'd be Prime Minister? Eamon bloody Andrews.
You can't resist white heather. They are temptational.
You can't resist white heather. You can't resist white heather. Chocolates and toffees.
They're temptational, so temptational.
That's the reason why you can't resist white heather. Temptational white heather. Temptational white heather. Try to see it my way. Only time will tell if I am right or I am wrong. Try to see it my way. Only time will tell if I am right or I am wrong.
Our home life is far from happy, and I think it would be best if we separated. The affair my husband was having has been confirmed by the woman concerned, but he says he loves only me and our child. This I find very hard to believe. I no longer trust him. This is part of just one of hundreds of letters I've received, and first of all I'd like to thank each one of you who wrote in. Obviously we can't deal with all your letters on this program, but we will answer every letter as soon as we can. The object of these two programs is to discuss what worries people in their personal lives and to discuss these problems. We can't promise miracle solutions, but perhaps the opinions of uninvolved people such as we have here tonight may help you to see the situations we discuss more clearly. With me in the studio are Dr. Catherine Storr, a psychiatrist, and the Reverend James Bentley, both of whom have a particular interest in the type of problems which we will be discussing. Now, let's go back to that letter I began with.
We can work it out.
The next program now on BBC Two is The Virginian. This is BBC One.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's it.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Shut That Door. And this is the part of the program which is entitled Get It Off Your Chest. This is for Everard. This is for Everard, but he's not here. We've got Everard Farquharson, care of Mr. Larry Grayson. And this has come all the way from Australia. Isn't that marvellous? It says, Dear Everard, this is your old cobber from down under. I've been down to the Billabong. I've been down to the Billabong 3 days on the run without success. As you know, the emu only mates once every 9 years, so you'll realize that your request for a tape recording of its mating call will need a lot of patience. It has built its nest in the Billabong and sits on it all day. With my constant visits to the Billabong, the emu and I have become good friends, and I will bend over backwards. Seems a nice boy, doesn't he? I will bend over backwards to get you a recording of its mating call. Your old friend and cobber, Rod Hull. Now, isn't that marvellous to think that Well, would you like to take a seat and give him a perch?
Very much.
Hate them. Now, well, I'm very, what's it doing for Christmas? Well, I'm ever so sorry to have to... What's it doing?
I'm sorry, but I'm looking for your friend Everard, actually.
Has he got foul pest?
No.
Gee, my heart's going like 50 to the dozen. It tells me... No, I'm ever so... Will you keep it still? I was going to say... Ooh, I was going to keep still. It's got very sad eyes, hasn't it? Very sad. Looks like Colin Clews when he auditioned me for Saturday Variety.
You say Colin Clews?
Yes, Colin Clews.
Because he would like to meet Colin Clews.
Yes.
Because he wants to get into show business.
Does he really?
He does impressions.
What of?
Do your impression. His impression of a parrot.
Flash would like that.
Would he?
Yes, he'd love that.
Who's this? Norman Colin.
Oh, yes. I bet he's a good watchdog, isn't he?
What? He certainly is. He sleeps with one eye open.
Does he really?
Yes.
So does Everard. He seems very affectionate, Rod.
Oh, he's very nice.
Yes, he seems very affectionate.
Once you get to know him, he's quite nice.
Yes, I'm sure he is.
Stroke it now, look, you see, look, just stroke him.
Yeah.
Look. Who's a pretty emu?
Yes.
See, you can stroke him if you like.
Do you think... Do you, I mean, actually, you see... Well, listen, let me just see. Be still.
Give him a stroke.
Silly bird. Let me sweet.
There you are, you see?
Oh, yeah.
He's quite nice, isn't he, once you get to know him?
Hello.
Look. He likes you, doesn't he? Look.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well then. Oh, is this one is not so bad after all, is it? I wish we'd had Sybil Thorndyke.
He's all right now.
Well, I'm not.
He's all right now.
I should be the same. Oh, I should never be the same again after this. I should think everyone's glad he's not here.
Oh, well. Well, what are we going to do about the mating call?
Well, oh, indeed.
Yes,
You see, well, have you got it? What's that you got round you?
Glad you asked. I thought you wouldn't notice that.
Well, I did.
That is my cassette tape recorder that I get mating calls from.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah.
Well, couldn't you record
Yes, that's what
Flash Jack, eh? I don't like it, you know.
You see, they only mate once every 9 years, you see.
The what?
They mate once every 9 years.
Is that all?
And he's 27.
Really?
And he's yet to start.
Yeah.
So, you see, so the urge is there, you see. So we're about to get...
Yeah. Fancy really mating every 9 years.
Yes, no.
Slack Alice will be very interested in that.
I'll just turn this on. Now, you be quiet. Now, you make a noise like you haven't had a mate for 27 years.
You want me to make a call, a mating call, like I haven't had a mate for 27 years?
Can you do that?
Test your memory.
No, well, I'll tell you what. You hold the microphone then, and I'll switch it on. Ready? Now, you put the microphone near his beak.
Well, keep it well back then.
Yes, I'll hold it.
Fancy out of
Yes.
Get him off.
That's the call. That's the call.
I just want to die. Well, I'd love to stuff that bird, I would. No help.
Well, as you probably heard Rolf say, at next Saturday there's the Eurovision Song Contest. From the Royal Albert Hall, London, Katie Boyle introduces the representatives of the 17 countries taking part. The Eurovision Song Contest next Saturday on BBC One at 10 o'clock.
BBC in the Midlands. On BBC Two.
Snow mist. Snow mist stick, spray, or roll-on. Snow mist is the rose-scented deodorant antiperspirant that gives you that exclusive, close-up confidence when you need it most. Depend on Snow mist to keep you sweet and sure of yourself. It always will. Remember, whichever way you use Snow mist, close-up confidence comes too.
Snow mist gives you close-up confidence.
This is BBC One.
Yes, it's number one. It's Top of the Pops.
In tonight's programme, we're going to look at one of the increasing number of talented ballet companies in this country. But first, the big news of this week in the arts, censorship, or rather, a proposal to abolish it. For generations, anyone in Britain who wanted to put on a play has had to get permission for it in advance from the Lord Chamberlain. He's an official of the Queen's household, and therefore, of course, not elected and not answerable to anyone who is. And the stage is the only form of art or communication in this country which is subject to compulsory censorship. Well, the day before yesterday, a joint committee of both Houses of Parliament and all the main political parties published a unanimous report in which they proposed that this censorship should be abolished and nothing put in its place. It says there should be no voluntary self-censorship of the kind they have in the film industry and no censorship by local authorities. They think the theatre should just be subject to the common law like everything and everyone else. They recommend, though, that the Obscene Publications Act should be extended to plays and other performances, and heavy fines imposed on people in the theatre found guilty of breaking it. Well, now, Michael Foote, you were one of the people on the committee that produced this report. What chance do you think it's got of becoming law?
I think it's got every chance, particularly because of the committee reporting unanimously. When there was a previous committee that examined the whole question of theatre censorship in the year 1909, they recommended 50 years ago or more that the thing should be abolished, but they were very narrowly divided and therefore nothing was done about it. But on this occasion I believe that the fact that everybody on the committee has eventually agreed will mean that the government will support a measure of this kind if it's introduced by a private member, or at any rate provide time for it, and I think it'll go through in the next session of the House of Parliament.
Who do you expect to oppose it?
I suppose there will be a few who will oppose it, but again I emphasize that all the arguments that we went through have been such that all those who argued against the change in the committee have eventually subdued or withdrawn their opposition, and therefore I think that will happen in the House of Commons. Maybe some will still vote against it, but I think we'll have a big majority.
Why did you rule out alternative forms of censorship like the one they have in the film industry? That has surprised a lot of people, I think.
Well, it doesn't exactly rule it out. That the film industry has a voluntary censorship of its own. But what we were opposed to, and this was the biggest argument in the committee, the main point of dissension, everybody there was in favour of abolishing the Lord Chamberlain as the censor, but some people argued that there ought to be a kind of system of a voluntary censorship whereby any playwright or play producer could get a kind of certificate from a body saying that this was a proper play to be produced, and that they would then be guaranteed against any prosecution, leaving anyone to put on a play if they wanted to, still without pre-censorship, but running the risk of a prosecution. Now, we were against that primarily because we thought that would mitigate against the adventurous play. It would make it more likely that adventurous plays would be prosecuted, and this was the matter on which we discussed in greater detail than possibly any other subject, and we came to the conclusion, I think quite rightly, that the simplest solution was the best.
Giddy up,
Giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding a wonderland of snow.
Hans Christian Andersen's words were spoken by Frederick, and the guitar was played by Michael Jessett. Jackanory with Nina will be back at the same time tomorrow. In a few moments, Blue Peter, followed at 5:20 by Part 3 of Robinson Crusoe. BBC One. The time now, 5 to 5. Now the third part of the serial version of Daniel Defoe's famous story, Robinson Crusoe.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely play. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in the stage plays many.
Just cut the comedy.
That's not comedy, that's Pucker Shakespeare.
Is this all right for the film?
Not now, Staveley. Get out of it. Blimey, Goldie's got out again.
Really, Tone, I'm a chicken.
Chicken. Oh, wait a minute. It's a great switch on Bunny. It's a great idea. We're going to have you in the movie, baby.
Me in your movie? You know, I thought little girls had to do naughty things to get into film.
Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. It makes me sick. It's like Mrs. Thursday.
So, what's your name, baby?
Esmeralda Staveley Smythe.
Smith.
Smythe.
You keep out of this, I told you.
Oh, we got a great little trio. A great start to the picture. Now, you're looking unhappy, Tony, baby. What's the matter, huh?
I'll fetch one right up the floor from you.
Okay. Now, let's move it. Around here.
Look, just leave me alone. I'll just do it all in the middle.
That'll be all right. I think maybe Toulouse back at the door, and you chicken...
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda,
Staveley Smythe.
stay at the door, you know. And Tony, you move back out into the street, you know, greeting the guests, you know.
But from the street? But I should be nearest the camera. After all, it's my restaurant. It's me they come to see.
Yeah, a little further back, Tony, will you? That's right, chicken, that's right. Yes, me. And the Toulouse, a nice big smile, you know, style. Tony, back a bit, will you? Tony, back.
But I'll be in the street.
Yeah, well, don't worry. Back further, Tony.
But I won't be in the film. I'll be in the street.
Look, will you keep going, Tony? Keep going out there in the street. Right. Swing in London.
I'm in the street.
Swing in London. Take 5. Action.
And who left the lift doors open?
Hartley's new jam tastes even better than homemade. It uses the same good, simple things as you do. Sugar and fresh fruit. But it's cooked differently. In sealed pans, so none of the flavour steams away. Only Hartley's make new jam. 5 luscious kinds. And all Hartley's new jam tastes even better than homemade jam.
We'd like to say that, in our opinion, it is not suitable for children
or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
I finally got a plane, though. I arrived in Mallorca only a day late. Good afternoon. I'm sorry I'm late.
I am sorry, sir. We are full up.
What do you mean you're full up? Hey? I mean, if the Prime Minister of England came in, you'd have a room for him, wouldn't you?
I suppose so.
Well, he's not coming, so I'll have it.
Here's a funny one. Un poco meno molimenti. Prantan hakapuki yakapokataka. Prantan printed in Acapulco. Well, I do that for them, you see. What's this here? It says here Paganini. Why is Paganini's name on it? Oh, page 9, I got it. Right, you start, I'll meet you halfway, Buster. My music stand fell over. Matter of fact, I kicked it over. That's supposed to go around. Who the hell tightened it up? See, I'll do a joke here, look. Oh, look, radar! Ah. Go back to Acapulco. What the hell? Now, Jack! When the right things go wrong, I'll be happy. Now watch me closely. I may do something contrapuntal. The name's Edwards, not Vladimir Kutz. There's a lady over there thought I was swearing. Vladimir Kutz, you deaf old... I wasn't swearing, Vladimir was, but I wasn't. Let's have something a bit quieter. That dates me, Vladimir Kutz, doesn't it? I think he was shot about 12 years ago. Let's have something a little slower. Now, come on. The Dance of the Hours by Stinky Ellie. Hang on, there's one of them gone wrong here. I'm running with that one. Ooh, that's... What shall we drink to? Here's to the Iron Curtain, may it rust in peace, says it all. You little darling, you go down there and join your friends. Rendezvous in Jim's Tum. I'm gonna finish. He doesn't hear me very well. Finish this and finish the trombone. Finish doodly-doo. And then it's a poodly-doodly-doo. Right, wait for me, that's a good lad. What a waste. Come on, we'll finish it somehow or other. Right. Oh, blimey, that thing's dropped in. If the mouth keeps dropping in the lap. Now, to the deck, to the deck. Come on, I've broken my blasted back there, you know that. I'd just like to demonstrate to you the range of the missile.
With you. You're not here of Harding, are you?
No, darling, you of all people doing the pools. I know. It's like discovering the Archbishop of Canterbury wears nothing under his hassock.
Hassock.
What was that, darling?
The word is cassock. Hassock is what the Archbishop of Canterbury kneel on.
Nonsense. Hassocks are a small town in Sussex. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to look in next week and we'll bake you a cake out of this lot.
Well, that's it. Thanks very much indeed for watching our preview, and goodbye for now.
Please like, share, and subscribe to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Show. Because there's no room left in
Fine, thank you.
What's your story?
Well, I'm in young girls' pants. I manufacture pants.
Oh, what filth.
Why do you prove it now?
I don't feel that there's any great interest in it. Clearly, you must have felt the world wanted to know what your private parts look like, and now the world knows.
Suggesting dummies! Dummies!
A consonant, please, Carol.
C.
A vowel.
That is E.
Another vowel.
Another vowel. I.
Consonant.